tonight at 7 on CNN and streaming on Max.
We all have so much more in common than what separates us. Let us fight for the ideals we hold dear, and let us always remember, when we fight, we win.
That was Kamala Harris last night, briefly taking to the stage. And now it is day 2 of the Democratic Convention, and hosting tonight's gathering, a Republican, host of The View and CNN political commentator, Ana Navarro. But she is not the only Republican who is lending their voice in support of Kamala Harris, something the Harris campaign is making sure to highlight this week at the DNC, of course. That includes Rich Logis. He's a self-proclaimed ex-MAGA activist who addressed the convention last night, explaining how he went from loving Donald Trump to now campaigning for Kamala Harris.
So I finally stepped outside the MAGA echo chamber. I stopped listening to what Trump said and looked around with my own eyes. And I realized he had been lying about pretty much everything. So this is my message to all the Republicans and independents who are watching. People like me who voted for, who believed in Trump. I made a grave mistake, but it's never too late to change your mind.
And joining us right now is Rich Logis. He's now the co-chair of Republicans for Harris in Florida. Thanks for coming in, Rich. Seeing your message, your face there in that video, the same night on the same convention stage as President Joe Biden, who took the stage later, as Hillary Clinton, who was a 2016 Democratic nominee against Donald Trump, taking the stage the same night. What was it like for you?
Okay, good morning. Thank you so much for having me. It was, my life has come a bit full circle that video aired on the evening in which Secretary Clinton and President Biden both spoke, when I was a MAGA activist and pundit from 2015 to 22. I made some abhorrent comments publicly and privately about Ms. Clinton and President Biden. And I even went on my Twitter account last night and wrote them personal apologies, and I hope we'll get to them. And when I was in the MAGA community, I was not just simply a partisan Trump voter. I was a volunteer. I did phone banking. I wrote and contributed some of the call script to the Trump campaign. So I was very much into that world. And after the victory in 2016, I got even deeper into it. Having spoken at Trump groups, sponsored Trump groups, writing for a number of, as a freelancer, a number of right-wing news sites and opinion sites. I had a professionally produced podcast. So I was someone who gravitated to the Trump campaign at the time in 2015.
And Rich, you were deep in it, as you're describing. And one of the things I've been wondering is, how do you sum up what attracted you so much to Donald Trump then? And also, when was the moment that he lost you?
So I consider myself at the time a very disillusioned American politically. And I saw Trump as an outsider looking to change the ways of Washington. And right now, as I am working on behalf of the Harris-Walz campaign for Republicans for Harris down here as a co-chair in Florida, I understand why there are Americans right now who have these feelings of disillusionment and disenchantment. And I was asked to come on the campaign. I didn't hesitate when I was asked, because I think that there's a message that perhaps I hope I'm uniquely able to deliver, because there were a number of factors that led to my questioning my beliefs. They all happened in the summer of 2021. There was mismanagement of COVID by both Trump and my governor, Ron DeSantis. There was a better understanding of January 6th. I started to diversify my news and information sources, started to get out of that MAGA and right-wing echo chamber, started to realize that there were some beliefs I held that turned out to be